Welcome back, everybody, to 2026, the first episode of the year. Joined this evening by Mitch. I think everybody knows both of our faces very well if they're tuning in to 5PL season 5 and also last year in season 4. Mitch, how are you doing?
Good. I'm still not used to the intro with our names on there. But yeah.
We're not used to having our names splattered across a screen when we're on stream. I know.
Right, yeah. It's like, we're not like the highlight of the streams. Obviously, everybody's there to watch bowling and unfortunately listen to my voice. But this is a totally different experience. I'm really enjoying it. So,
Yeah.
and there's been a lot that happened in the last. I mean, look, it was bowling, it was games. We're mid-season, right? So everybody's kind of finding their place in the standings. But there's been some top, like some hot topic matches. I can pick a couple on your end, anyway.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, at this point now, every team has played. Like I know the last time we touched base with everybody, we were still waiting for some teams. I think about the Schwartz division. We had the Pinslayers and the Venom, who we hadn't seen them in action so far this season. Like we knew they're both strong teams that are going to come out swinging. What sort of shakeup was that going to bring to the standings, especially knowing that we have, past league champions a number of times over in our division, and how them being back in the mix was going to sort of change what things looked like, and having a top heavy versus a back end heavy schedule. So I think if we want to start things off with this past weekend, we had our first matches of the year. Mitch, I wasn't here, so I wasn't even covering sports, but I guess if you want to chat a little bit and give us a recap of your side of things in the Cargill division.
Yeah, and I mean, when you look at this page, right, the Cargill division, it looks, you got 2-6-2s, 2-1-7s, or 7-1s, however you want to look at that, right? Everybody kind of, I mean, the average pros came out of that day 12-14, so that's obviously, they're feeling good about that. And then, or sorry, not 12-14. Actually, they were basically, they were dead even. The Lumberjacks were +1, if or well, they were 13-3 actually. I don't know what I'm talking about, +1. And then so they were the winners of the day. And then the Minto also went even, right?
Yeah.
7-1-7, and then 1-7 against them. And then Snowman didn't have such a great day. It was definitely a little bit rough, but these were all, if I remember correctly, this was like 3, 4, 5, and 7 in the placements. So these were all the middle pack teams playing each other. So Lumberjacks were already doing, I think they were third at the top of those 7 or 4 teams. So they moved up even more. And then, but the average pros also took a big jump up too. So with the Snowmen moving down, right?
Yeah. And we'll take a look at the standings here very shortly. On the Schwartz side of things, obviously, I was not there to run the stream. Mr. Christian Murphy stepped up in my absence. But you see Dynamite really struggling the first week back of 2026. I don't know really when was the last time we saw them lose, 1-7, let alone
twice in one day.
So definitely going to have some implications in terms of the standings and what that is sort of shaping up to look like. They have had a really good start to their season. The Revengers were looking to, pick up as many points as possible to put themselves in a good position for the latter half of the season. And the same thing with the Rock and Rollers, who you think about seasons past, where they were more or less completely done their season by this point, and everyone else was just sort of playing catch up. They're in a bit of a different boat this year, where their matches are more spread out across the entire season. So really looking to get as many points as possible. One of the big things that we've talked about a lot in more recent matches has been what a difference it makes going 3-5 versus 1-7, essentially trying to minimize the damage of your loss as much as possible. So I'm sure that's going to play a huge role in the rest of the season here, especially with all those heavy hitter teams and those teams you were talking about even playing on your side, Mitch, where they were all just like clustered in the standings, and winning or losing 3-5 versus losing 2-6 is going to have a huge impact on the standings. Speaking of, here we go.
All right. Yeah. So if you look over at the Cargill side, Okay, so what are their? Okay, so 2, 5, 6, 7. So like I said before, they were 3, 4, 5, 7. There was some shifting of the teams in there. Obviously, the big one is the Lumberjacks. They've only got 4 games left. They're at 0.68 there. That's looking mighty good. This is by far the Lumberjacks' best performance of any season they've had, because I've had the pleasure of having them in my division every year since season 2. So so that I know Chantel is enjoying that. If she's watching this, she's like cursing me because I keep jinxing her. But you guys keep doing good, so I don't know what to say. The average pros are definitely enjoying this season a lot more than last year.
Certainly.
Yep, but at that 0.6 win rate, they actually had an emergency sub last week, and then Brett showed up for their second game. If they had, Ryland wasn't there; he was out playing Masters, and so they did well considering that they didn't have their full roster, right?
Certainly.
Yeah, and then the Maniacs, they were already doing pretty good. They kind of, I think technically they lost in win percentage, but they're still up there at 0.58. They're halfway done their season. And then the Snowmen at 0.42. Yeah, last week definitely they flipped over that 0.5% when that 0.5 mark onto the lower end of it. So they're those 5 games are gonna have to make them count at the end here.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like as we get to this point in the season, where we're not only looking at like the number of points that a team has and their win percentage, but also how many games they have left, right? You look on the short side of things, you see the Crushers down in 9th place, and you're thinking, well, they're really low so far. And then you see, well, they've only played 2 games, and their win percentage is over 8. So they have, a really heavy second half of the season compared to some of our teams who only have, say, 4 matches left.
Like look at the reverse. The reverse of that is the Bombers on my side and sitting in 3rd, but they've only got 2 games left to play.
Yeah. So
right. So they got to make them count.
Looking to catch them. Yeah. So we have like Mayhem, Average Pros, Maniacs trying to catch them, and they have 4 more games on top of what the Bombers still have to play. And then you think about the factors that come into play, like when are those matches, right? When do the Bombers play their final 2 matches? Is it closer to the end of the season where they kind of know what they need, or is it going to be in the coming weeks here? And sort of what that looks like. I apologize. Mitch and I do not know the schedule by heart.
I could go bring it up, but I can't just rattle it off.
We don't have them memorized in our little brains. That would be pretty exceptional, and I don't think the best use of our mental bandwidth. But
everybody knows I'm not the stats guy. I always like it when people join and they are the stats people, and I'm like, oh, thank God.
It's always nice to have those folks joining us for sure. Yeah. But certainly the Schwartz side of things, I mean, you look at Dynamite having those 2 losses this past week here, they're still sitting in a really good position with 5 more games to play. The Rock and Mullers also have 5 more games to play, and that's 1 more game than the Kingpins and Next Gen Nightmares, who are in our top 2 spots there. But then down sort of the rest of the standings, like Storm Strikers are sitting in 5th. They've had a really, I don't want to say tough season because they've been playing so well, but it just seems like everybody keeps beating up on them. Like they'll throw a 1,300 and they'll come up against a team who throws 1,500 at them. And it's sort of taking the points where they can. But, I would love to see them win these final 3 matches that they're playing. They're playing this weekend coming up. It's going to be really exciting to see them back in action. And then you have Revengers, Pinslayers, who have, 9 more matches. Crushers have 10. And then the Roses and the Venom, who are sitting in our bottom 2 spots. I'm saying that in quotations. The audience can't see. But they've only played 2 games, right? And we know both of those teams are heavy hitters and know how to shoot, are definitely not going to... They're definitely going to be putting up a fight in their matches and looking to get into the playoffs once again, doing what we expect from them year over year. So certainly lots of action to come.
Yeah, like your side is definitely, stacked. I think the only previous winner we have on our side is the Bombers.
Yeah, I think that's right.
It. Yeah, you got everything else over there, and those two bottom teams are like you said, they're always up there in the top 5, somewhere in there, if not winning, right?
Yeah.
So what are they going to do? Because you're going to have probably like I don't know what the schedule is, but some of these teams sitting in 1 through 5 finishing, and they're going to be like, okay, come on, Venom and Roses, just stay a little bit lower than me. So
we're gonna sit and wait and twiddle our thumbs and hope that we don't get past to too much of an extent that we're not in the playoffs. That's for sure. One of our big matches is coming up this weekend. We have the Storm Strikers in action, the Revengers, Carnage, and the Roses. And the Carnage and Roses are going to be playing each other at Toppler Bowl on Sunday. Certainly an exciting match for myself, knowing all of those players personally and bowling at Toppler myself. But it's always one of those matches that I know the audience and viewers of 5PL love to see, and I know the chirps will certainly be flying on Sunday morning at the lanes.
So just to kind of talk about that, the Roses, their last 2 games are the second last week, and the Venom, their last 2 games are the last week.
Yeah.
So they will literally be the some of those final teams kind of trying to get up as high as they can, right? So
yeah, certainly the playoff picture for sure. I mean, I think even the top spot isn't necessarily going to be locked up.
Nope.
Super late into the season, right? Like it's not going to be like where we're seeing everybody trying to catch the Rock and Rollers like we were last year. And knowing that they sort of had this benchmark and knowing what the teams needed to do to get there, I think it's going to be something where we're seeing sort of those teams jockeying for position in pretty much all of those playoff spots, right? Up until the final week of matches, which is certainly really exciting, probably a little bit, stressful for Mitch and I. As people who probably watch the most of this of anybody. But certainly lots of excitement to come. Is there anything you're looking forward to most in the next little while here?
Oh gosh, I mean, I'm looking for some of those 10. Now, funny enough, we actually don't have any 10 gamer teams left on our side. Everybody has at least more than 2 in there. Actually, at least 4, right? So you still have a bunch with a lot of games left. But seeing some of these, like the Holy Rollers, for example, getting them in to play some more games, or the Misfits who are sitting close to that that 5 mark, seeing where if they can win a couple, all of a sudden they jump up, right? They're not that far behind even like the average pros. So, the Rascals haven't played in a while. They're one of the new teams to the league. So I want to see some more from them. If I go to your side, look, I'm a huge fan of Toppler and Venom, so I'm gonna be watching your last 2 weeks for sure. Shout out to everybody on Toppler, and then Rhonda. I will never forget when I just kicked you out of the stream by accident and cut you off. She will never forget it either. She always bugs me about
She'll never let you live it down. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, look, I'm a huge fan of Kingpins too. I live in Red Deer. It's kind of
as a awesome team. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're doing great this year. It's good. I'm just happy to see it. So.
Yeah, it's just there's so much good bowling still to come, and I know that all of these matches are going to be exciting and are all going to be important in some way or another, whether it's a team needing to get those points to squeak into a playoff position to get the bye in the playoffs, or if it's another team sort of trying to deliver some spoilers, right? And knowing that they can prevent a team from making it into the playoffs yet again. I know Pinsanity and Carnage, I think, play each other again the last week of Pro League again this year. And I think it's the 3rd year again. And hopefully, the curse doesn't continue, that they're the reason they don't make the playoffs.
Let me see. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they play the 3rd game on the last day. Yep.
Yeah. So certainly, lots of excitement both ways, right? In that it's not just about making it into the playoffs, but also if a team knows that they're out of it, how can they, stay out of that relegation position, but also maybe deliver some spoilers and a shake up to what the playoff landscape is going to look like. So
Yeah.
lots of,
Carnage.
stories here to come.
Yeah. Carnage has quite the day. They've got their nemesis in Pinsanity, that they've also got Venom. So
yeah. Yeah, it's sort of a very similar schedule to last year. We had Venom playing on the last day, as well as Carnage and Pinsanity.
I wonder if their availability was the exact same as the previous year.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we're just not going to change the schedule for this day. But yeah, certainly lots more excitement to come.
Yeah, you know what, we're definitely, it's starting to shape up. You're starting to see some leaders, and some teams that generally don't have a lot of games played yet, but are still, their win percentage isn't where they want it to be, right? No one, I think, is officially out, but there's room for everybody to move. So
yeah, obviously there's teams that are in better positions than others, and setting themselves up really well to maintain a playoff position and likely a bye in the playoffs. But again, nothing is set in stone, and nothing is all stitched up so far in the season. It's exciting. So any final thoughts? I would say questions, concerns, ideally not questions or concerns. But any final thoughts?
I mean, we have a lot going on, and I personally have a lot going on for the next couple of weeks. I actually won't be running any streams until February 8th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm like gone for a whole month now. Just seeing family. We got the open trials coming up and everything, right? But let me see here. I'm actually just looking forward to watching them. Having somebody else run them and just throwing them on the TV.
You get to be a viewer, You can watch my streams then instead. Look, that's so nice.
I can scream at you when you say 5 in a row. So
exactly. Perfect. Exactly what I want to hear.
Then I'll be right back after that. But there's just so many games coming up, so many teams that I've done all the seasons except the first one. I kind of it's hard to pick certain teams and be like, oh yeah, I love, every time I see who's playing, because God forbid I look at the actual schedule, I just get the little invite and I'm like, oh, that's what I'm doing. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, yeah, it's going to be a good one. These teams are playing. And I just say that every week. And that's how it is. Hey, so
bowling is bowling, and it's always fun to watch, regardless of, who's playing. As much as it's nice to see people that you know and that you're rooting for, bowling is fun to watch regardless.
Yep. Hey, when someone goes a bagger from the gun, it's always a good feeling. And everybody in this league can do it. So
yeah, certainly going to be an exciting few weeks here. We'll see Mitch back in February, and best of luck to everybody in Pro League over the next month, but also for everybody who has open trials, who has youth challenge trials, all of the stuff that's happening. We're really ramping up with the bowling season now, even though I feel like it's been crazy since September. But still lots of bowling to come. We're only halfway through the season. But with that, we'll sign off, and we'll see you all back here in another month.